Just I have things to talk about. I'm just thinking, what will I talk about? So I'll start with Spider Man. I've been playing the 2018 Spider Man. Good shit that is. Um, I really like the combat. I really like that as you go on in the game, you can do so much bullshit. It like have people like now. One complaint I will put on the game is that you have to do too many sub stories to unlock everything. Well, not sub stories, but extra kind of side quests and all that. Which, like, I don't have a problem with doing side quests in and of themselves to get uh, a few things that may or may not be important, but take like to compare. Like, I know that that is not exactly the same, but Jackers Zeros would be a good game of. There's a sub stories. There's two sub stories, one for Majima and one for Kiru. I hope I'm pronouncing them right, but even if I'm not, I don't really give a shite at the moment. Anyway, things can change, but anyway, you have, but in those side stories, which are basically games of in and of themselves, like if they just like if a game studio released these those side quests just as games themselves, people would probably love them. But but anyway, there's side quests that you have to do for those ones to unlock more properties. And even then, with Majima, it's even less important. But for Majima, you run a cabinet club, and you could just play. You pay people to advertise, but some of the people you have to do side quests like you have to befriend a lad in a adult video rental place, to put it lightly, and he agrees to advertise your place. But if you wanted to ignore those that's completely up to you. And with Kazuma, I'll just call him Kazuma because that is part of his name, even though technically Kazuma is a name of another character, but whatever. Um, um, one you could ignore the buying certain properties if you wanted because he's in real estate. Well, it is possible to ignore one or two of those businesses because you could complete it without them. It makes the whole lot. It makes it a lot harder, and if you do them, those properties are free. So, so that one you have to walk around. But in Spider-Man, the 2018 story, there's certain gadgets that help you fight the bad guys in the game. One of them is just a burst of air that pushes the enemies out of your way. Handy, particularly handy on rooftops. Oops, oops. And then there's one that kind of blows people up into the air for a small amount of time, which is handy if there's a large group of people, which as the game goes on, there are more of. But you have to create not just one particular type of side mission, a few different types of side missions, which I think is a bad idea. Of it should be just experience. Not saying that you should like if they want to give those tokens just to say, oh yeah, you did this specific type of subquest. Fair enough. That would make the I don't mind that, but using those tokens specifically to unlock more stuff, I think it should be like it doesn't have to be like specifically experience. You can use whatever, but you should not use one specific thing to buy kind of everything, so that if you just want to play the game casually, you can unlock most, if not all, of the stuff. But they won't. But you don't have to go out your way to complete specific things if you want to get more into depth, but don't want to 100% it, because not everyone wants 100. Like, I'll probably 100% it, or at least as close as I can to 100% this. It's because it's one game that I like 100% in. But I don't normally 100% games. Like, I just play games because I think they're fun. Like, I don't go around and GTA going, oh, I'm going to find all the shells or all spray all the tags which I haven't played in years, but I still remember because I played San Andreas so much. Still never 100%ed it, but well, technically that's a lie. I did cheat to unlock 100%, but I never did it legitimately. Uh, yeah. Oh, and I restarted Pokemon Shield. Yeah, not the best. Like, it's enjoyable. Now I remember a lot of people when leading up to the release date going on about, oh, the graphics are shocking and that. Like, now I think that the graphics should be better. Like, there's no excuse for them not being better. But I don't give too much of a shade to say, oh, that's what turns me off a game. Like it, on some level, yeah, I do judge games on graphics, but I I go in and say, is it fun in general? And with Pokemon Shield, not the best Pokemon game, and not the best game in general, but it's fun, and that's what I want from a game. Like, if it's mediocre, no, I don't always get time to play games, or when I do, I might focus on one or two games at a time, depending on, like, video games take a lot of time. Like, there's some video games I played that are like 2 or 3 hours, maybe 5 or 6 hours. But most games are at least 10 hours, depending on the difficulty and how good you are and all that, or how many times you played it. But most games are at least 10 to 20 hours, if not more, depending. Like GTA, you could spend hours just blowing up cars, which I have done. Not as much as I used to when I was younger, but I have done it. Uh, oh, it's something else I want to talk about. Like, even if I only mention it, I seen the Pirates of the Caribbean movie for the first time in a while. I remember seeing it as I seen the trilogy when I was younger. I still have the. I haven't seen the two later releases, but I like the first three. I love the first one, but the two sequels I liked when I was younger because I had them on DVD and I watched them a few times. Um, but I can't. I vaguely remember the plot line, but I can't remember specifics. But I make I have, like, if I takes me 3 years to watch them, I watch them. But I might, depending on, like, I'm not great for planning kind of what to do. I just wake up and do, like, now one thing I have to get back into doing is Hulk, the TV series, Daredevil, Tokyo Ghoul, and The Simpsons. I started watching those a few weeks ago. Well, I started Daredevil years ago, and I'm just in the middle of season 3 now because it's very hard to try do everything. But um, I have to get back in those. So even if I only saw one episode of each, this like I have to put it out. Like probably, I hope to get at least 1 or 2 episodes of one of these shows, if not a few of these shows. If not today, within this week. Like um, like Tokyo Google is good. Daredevil season 3. I think no, it's not the best out of it out of the Daredevils. I think for me, anyway. Like obviously, I have to finish the entire season to have a full opinion of it. But at the moment, seasons 1 and 2 for me anyway were better. No, it's still good, but um, the Hulk animated series from the 1990s. There's one season on Disney Plus. Like, I like it. Like obviously, I'm being very biased, which I'm not looking at entertainment objectively. It's very subjective. So not that there's too many people watching this to complain, but to anyone who does complain in the future, fuck off. Um, like if you want to recommend and and, and, and do stuff that you like that's different, or you have arguments on why you don't like what I like put them down. But if you're going to start an argument, I honestly couldn't care less. I know how the internet is. People will insult. Like some people will insult me because they're upset, and then some people just wanted to start an argument for argument's sake. And then there's some people who might accidentally start an argument. They didn't mean to start an argument. But shit happens. Uh, Actually, I just have the last episode playing on my phone here. If you want to see. Well, how long is left in the video? 7 minutes left in that. I might just turn it off a bit and look up movie r/ movie details, because that does get a bit out of this. Uh, 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 I won't read out this one because, like, I might read it to myself later on, but I don't think it would. It's just a lot of math in that. Here's one. The producers of RoboCop. Do you know, like, for anyone who hasn't seen the original RoboCop, it's very violent. I think they when they came out on home release, that the version that was released for homes was way more violent than what people got in the cinema originally. But but the producers and everyone involved thought maybe police officers will be upset with how much violence there is in the movie. Um, but then when they were asking police officers and that, they turned around and said, "No, we love how violent it is. I wish we could do that." Which actually probably something I should mention considering the current climate. I'll stop there. So I won't even mention, like when I'm putting in the tags, I won't even mention Robocop because tricky times, tricky times. Like I'm in a position that if if one of these videos is taken down, it won't be a big deal, but still don't want that happening because I want eventually I want to make as much money as possible. Like I'm not going to be like super greedy and to find every single way to grab every single cent, but I do want to eventually make money from this if possible, which I know is like well, I know it's possible, but like, I'm going to be transparent and I won't just, like say how much exactly I'm earning, but won't I won't like say, "Oh, I'm so poor." Well, I could end up saying that in the future. I don't know, but at the moment, anyway, I'm in a comfortable position. Push, can't speak. Anyway, uh, let's see something else. Uh, and Indiana Jones. Do do do. Uh, I think I'll just a second person joined, so I might keep this going for a little bit. Oh, gone. I might as well just end this up now. 9. Just like in the future, depend if I get more viewers than that, and if it goes well, I might have longer streams. But I think somewhere around the 20 to 25 minute stream is long. Like I could end it beforehand, depending on I don't know how much I feel like talking in that. But I think about for the moment anyway. Like I may change my mind next time I stream, which hopefully it will be next week. But see how things go. Um, so, bye.